We're going to paper one, business. Okay. So the first question, they said answer all questions. So the first question says, define the term supply. What's supply? Supply is, the quantity of goods or services businesses are willing to supply or produce at a given price and time. I think that is clear.
Yeah.
So go to second question. Said, briefly explain two non-price factors which could increase the demand for a product or service. Demand for a product, except for price now. So we're talking about other factors that could shift the demand curve, rightward or leftward. That's what the point is talking about. One of the factors is the consumer income. So if income increases for consumers, it means that their purchasing power has decreased. That could increase the demand for goods or services. That's the first point. The second point is about consumer confidence about the products. So if consumers are confident that the product is of good quality, they might increase their purchasing, or they might increase their demand for such products.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Which could increase in sales.
Increase demand. Yeah, it could increase the sales. But the point here is about demand. Clear, right? So go to question 2. It said, define the term business leadership. When we talk about business leadership, this only applies to motivating workers or motivating staff to achieve a set of objectives for the business. That is what business leadership is about. Do you get the point? Do you get the point, please? Yes. So now this said, explain briefly 2 styles of business leadership. We could have autocratic business leadership. We could have democratic business leadership. So let's talk about autocratic. It is autocratic leadership when the decision making is from the top. So workers or employees do not have any other choice than to listen and do what is being said to be done. That is autocratic. But for democratic or democratic leadership style, this allows employees participation in decision making. So employees are able to participate in decision making. That makes it. We continue. So we explained autocratic and democratic. I think it's clear. All right. We go to question 3. Question 3 says, explain how the interests of two stakeholder groups could affect the decision of a business. The first thing is you have to define who a stakeholder is. Stakeholders are a group of people who have interest in the business activity. Then what examples of stakeholders are the employees, the management, the suppliers, the customers, the competitors, the banks, and government. So here we're going to talk about employees and customers. So how will employees' interest becomes what businesses have to decide on? So how will employees' interest influence businesses' decision? How will customers' interest influence businesses' decision? That is the point. So first, employees. Employees are the workers of the business, right? So they work for the business. So what are their interests in the business? They want increase in salary. They want a very conducive environment. They want promotion. They want to be trained. They want to be seen as valued within the organization. All these things are expensive. It will increase the cost incurred by businesses or employers. As a result, employers might want to do it because they have to do it. If not, they will see their workers leaving their company. So as a result of this, they want to make sure they get it done for their workers. So what would they do? They might shift this cost or transfer this cost to the consumers by increasing the price of their products or services. So you see the decision now. Employers are taking decision to increase the price so as to be able to meet up with the demand of their employees, not to be able to lose them. You get the first point. Yeah. The second point is about customers. For customers, they are the kingpin of the business. So businesses do not want to lose their customers. But what are the interests of customers to a business? They want quality products at affordable prices. Yes or no? So quality product comes with a price. So it is expensive. Quality products might be so expensive, but they don't want to lose their customers to competitors. As a result of this, they might find a way of reducing the dividends of shareholders. Do you see the conflict here? So shareholders might not be getting high dividends so that the cost, so that businesses will be able to make up from those dividends that are supposed to be shared to cover up for the cost of giving customers quality products. So they are deciding now, the decision is about reducing dividends so that customers will be able to buy quality product at affordable price.
Yeah.
These are what we call conflicts about stakeholders. Is it clear?
Mm-hmm.
So go to question 4.
Job production.
When we talk about job production, it means you are producing a specific product for customers at a given period of time. That is job production.
Mm-hmm.
Is it clear? Then we go to the next question. The next question says, briefly explain why a business might choose flow production as a method of operation. What is flow production? Flow production involves continually producing a product. That means you continue to produce a product. That is flow production. So why will a business choose this kind of method? A business might choose this kind of method, one, because it allows production of large quantities. So that means we are producing large quantities of product at the same time. So flow production allows you to produce large numbers of products, yes or no,
Mm-hmm.
which might meet up with the demand for your customers. So that means you are able to supply your customers as at when due because you are using flow production. That's the first point. The second point is that it offers economies of scale, especially purchasing economies of scale. That's bulk buying. Because when you are using a flow production method, it means you're going to be buying large quantities of raw materials. Yes or no? And buying large quantities of raw materials would reduce your average cost of production. Do you understand? So that's the second point there. I think I made 3 points. Okay. No, I think that's so, okay. They said 2 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I made 2 points there. Then we'll go to question 4. That's all about question 4. So we'll go to question 5 now. Are you there?
Yeah, you answered 5.
I did 5, yeah.
Okay.
So they said, analyze the advantage of crowdfunding as a source of finance for small businesses. First, you have to define what crowdfunding is. What is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding means you are large numbers of people. You are sourcing for finance from large numbers of people to contribute smaller amount of money for you.
Mm-hmm.
That is crowdfunding.
Sourcing a small amount of money from
large number of people. That is crowdfunding.
Good.
So now you have to state the advantages of crowdfunding. Number one, it increases the accessibility of funds for smaller businesses. As you know, small businesses have problems about sourcing for finance. So small businesses, they have problems sourcing for finance.
Mm-hmm.
Banks don't want to give them money because they are considered as high risk.
Mm-hmm.
So with crowdfunding, they will be able to have access to money without stress.
Mm-hmm.
Because we already know that small businesses find difficulties sourcing for finance. So crowdfunding would help that out in that situation. That's an advantage, isn't it? Isn't it?
It is.
Number one. Number two, there's no need to sell stake in the business. So if you are the owner of the small business, you don't have to sell your stakes because people are contributing money for you. You don't have to sell your shares to get in return of money. Mm-hmm. So your stake, your control of the business is still 100%.
Yeah.
That's another advantage, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The third point I make is you might not have to refund the money, it's crowdfunded money. So you might not refund the money or even pay interest. But most of the time, you might even pay in the course of by producing a product for those that have contributed to cover up for the cash.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So that's an advantage too. And the last point I made here is that it reduces the risk of entrepreneurs. Because as the owner of the business, you are not putting your hard-earned savings into the business anymore. People have crowdfunded you.
Yeah.
So that means the risk of you putting your money there is none. Is it clear? Then go to 5B. We said, financial measures are the most important indicator of business performance. Discuss this view. What are financial measures? Financial measures are the same as financial ratios. Financial measures are the same as financial ratios. What do we use them for? We use it for the measurement of the performance of the business. Mm-hmm. So we could use, these are the profitability ratio, cash flow analysis, liquidity ratio, profit margin. These are what we call financial ratios. So here I wrote, financial measures or financial ratios are mechanisms used to describe the performance of a business or investment. So they could include the following: measuring the cash flow of the business. And what is cash flow? The in and out of flow that is predicted, and managing the cash flow of the business is a financial measure. Mm-hmm. 2, I talked about profitability ratios, which measures the extent at which a business would make profit. This can be through the profit margin, gross profit margin, which is your gross profit divided by sales multiplied by 100, or your sales or your net profit margin, which is your net profit divided by net profit divided by sales multiplied by sales over net profit divided by 100, multiplied by 100, sorry. So these are what we call profitability ratios. We can use it to know the extent at which we can go to make profit. That's financial measure. Meanwhile, all these measures we talked about can only help to understand how the business is performing financially. But there are other factors that measures the performance of the business, which are about information about quality of the workers. So not only when you want to target making, what I'm saying is businesses might try to make or might measure their performance based on the profit they make, based on the revenues they are making. But there are other things that are attached to measuring the performance of the business. So here I said, however, businesses put so much recognition into financial data and forget about the qualitative drivers of performance, which are one, employee satisfaction, customers' loyalty, how the extent at which you are able to reduce competition in the market. These are also performance of the business, but they are not financial. They are non-financial. So businesses do not put this into consideration. They only think about profitability, high revenue, high market share. So they should start thinking about non-financial method of performance too, like what I just talked about here. Do you get the point I made, please? So that's all about paper one.